Hi everybody, my name is Sam Chapman.
I'm Sydney Felice.
And we are your MediaRight customer care specialists and co-hosts of MediaRight TV.
We're going to be bringing you guys some new products and team favorites from our coolest partners here on MediaRight TV. You will be able to find all of our episodes on our website, www.mediarighton.com, to come back and watch anytime.
Today, as you can see, we have Dan Skirpan joining us. He's here to talk about the super popular GY-HC500SPC camcorder.
Our guests today are some of our best friends in the world of college sports, joining us for our pilot episode, so we really appreciate all of you. So as a big thank you, you will be getting $25 of MediaRight Galaxy Bucks.
Sweet. All right, sweet. So hey, again, guys, most of you guys already know me. I'm Dan. I've been with JVC for like 5 years, and we finally we've come a long way in the sports market in regards to cameras and stuff like that by obviously joining Interop Group and everything like that, and doing the 720p 60 at 8 and 1080p at 12. But we finally came up with a camera that Japan actually kind of listened to me about. And again, it is the 500 SPCU. And again, I'm not really sure who's all on the call, but I think some of you guys might have already have some of these cameras. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the things that you can do with the camera with some of the upgrades that we're doing. And of course, with COVID and everything like that, some of the guys are actually using it for teams streaming events, and more, instead of using it just for coaching camera, they're also using it for other events as well. I didn't know, did you guys want to roll the video first that we had made? So I had a guy make a video for us, kind of to help you guys. It was specifically for the coaching.
Production and ease workflow. And it works seamlessly with Exos, DV Sport, and Huddle, the leading providers of digital coaching technologies. In this video, we'll drill down on the coaching side of the camera. Based on Sports Video Interoperability Group guidelines, the GY-HC500SPCU features exchange mode, which allows video and metadata to be recorded in either 720 60p at 8 megabits per second or 1080 60p at 12 megabits per second. Here's what makes this camcorder like no other in the coaching market. Starting with the clip continuous record mode, you can store a number of start-stop recordings together in a single file. Imagine shooting practice drills or a game with multiple plays. The camera can combine all of the plays into one file to upload into your coaching video editor. This avoids having to browse through dozens of clips to gather up the footage you need. This new workflow will help speed up the import process so that you can meet the expectations of your coaches. Besides import speed, JVC also designed in features that help with some of the manual processes after the footage is imported. For example, Odk Tagging is built into the camera. Now, there's no need for an external device to label the plays. With the user-programmable buttons on the side of the camera, you can tag the plays with all 8 Odk values immediately beforehand, or as the play is happening. There's also a handy remove button, so you can easily delete clips of dead plays. Metadata recorded with the video can include the camera angle, scoreboard, sideline, end zone, sideline 2, end zone 2, and TV feed. This is accomplished in the camera menu under Camera Angle Tagging. This automated feature takes away one more manual step in the current workflow. The record trigger feature on the SDI or HDMI outputs enables external recording devices to be triggered. It helps when the budget doesn't allow you to uplift all your cameras at once. In addition, being able to use your older external recording devices will help prevent transcoding. The JVC GY-HC500SPCU also features a built-in GPS function for easy geosyncing. It's a great benefit when players wear RFID devices. The camera embeds a real-time reference within the video metadata, synchronizing the biometric information collected from the player. That makes it easy for the coach to find a section of video associated with any specific biometric or position. Auto FTP lets you start uploading a recorded clip without opening the menu screen. Think of the time this will save compared to running cards to your video office. When you're in normal mode, files will automatically start to upload as soon as you press the record button to end recording. If you're in clip continuous record mode, it will upload the video and metadata once the video is finalized. This JVC connected cam also offers live streaming with Secure Reliable Transport, or SRT. This advanced capability enables high-quality, secure streaming, optimizing video delivery across unpredictable Wi-Fi networks. Mistakes can happen when shooting a game or practice, but the GY-HC500SPCU's rolling backups mean you probably won't miss an important play. The 2 card slots can be set up for continuous recording, card by card, or recording to both cards simultaneously in the same format for backup in the normal record mode. When you're in rolling backup recording mode, the record button is used to record and stop recording on one card, while the other card acts as a continuous backup that overrides the pause function. In the clip continuous record mode under exchange record format, you only have the dual record mode for backup. As you can see, the JVC GY-HC500SPCU is the ideal sports coaching camcorder with built-in and user-set features, including metadata tagging and auto FTP. It can really speed up workflow, making life easier for the entire video team during practice or games.
There we go. See, guys, we actually listened to you guys a little bit. Most of that stuff, I mean, again, some of you guys already know about it, but it's pretty much the camera in a nutshell. It does everything you guys physically need it to do to that point of the coaching video and everything. But there are some new things that we are doing that is better. And again, we talked about it a little bit in this video, is the auto FTP. So what's nice about the auto FTP, again, if you have a practice facility somewhere, on the other side of campus or anything like that, and you have your cameras hooked up to the network, you can actually set up an auto FTP site or a server, inside in your video rooms, so you guys don't have to run cards if you guys don't want to. Right now, DJ down in Texas is actually doing it. He did it mostly all last year. And again, there was a little bit of bumps in the road, like in regards to the network and stuff like that. But again, we were backing everything up on the SD cards. But again, what was really, really awesome about that is that DJ was pretty much done when the first quarter ended. By the time he got back after the first drive in the second quarter, he was completely done with doing, his entire first quarter. Again, with the ODK that he was doing, along with the audio FTP, not running any cards or anything like that, really did speed up a lot of stuff that he was doing. Something else that's actually awesome too, recently we just got it approved by ESPN3 for being able to actually be one of the cameras that they actually do recognize as a good camera to be using in regards to, besides it having a 20 by zoom lens in 4K, it has, in HD, it has a 40 by zoom lens, which financially helps out, and ESPN3 approved it to be used as one of the, I guess when you guys are streaming a lot of the games out and stuff like that. So again, that was good news for us. ESPN3, approved it. So that's actually awesome as well. And again, if I'm going too fast, I apologize. It's just some things that I know some of the guys have already talked to you guys about, but kind of want to get through it as much as possible. Something else that's really, really cool about these cameras, let's see if I can share the screen here. Let's see, a point, share. So I believe it came up, and hopefully everybody can see that. Once these cameras are actually on the physical network, you have a remote, it's CCU or RCP panel. So if one of your students are saying, hey, the video is all washed out, or I can't figure out why it's doing this or something like that, you can actually log into the camera. And something that I want to make sure you guys are aware of, this is not an app. It is a web GUI interface that is actually physically built into the camera. So if you are anywhere at any time in your phone, let's say your iPad or your phone or your computer is on the same network and you know the IP address, you can actually physically log into the camera and take complete control of it. You can do your zoom ins, your zoom outs. You can hit your record buttons. You can do some of your streaming. Again, if some of these guys are doing some more things outside of the coaching video, you can set up your streaming and everything like that. Here's your camera control, your auto exposure level, your iris, your gain, your shutter, everything you can control from here. Along with the actual focus. If you want to take it on the manual, you can have the manual focus. Like say for an example, saying it's not focusing for some reason, you can actually make it go to auto, take control of it. The user set switch, you can actually do, like again, if you want to do your ODK and all that stuff, you can actually set up all of your user buttons to do your ODK. And then also, I'm not sure if this is going to do it or not, but we're going to try it. We enabled the actual menu feature, and it's not coming up on this screen because I'm doing too many things. But right now, I'm actually looking at the physically on my camera, and the menu screen is actually up. Let's see if I can refresh this, if it'll show up. Nope. Oh, I guess it did. There you go. So I just refreshed it. But you can see you're actually physically in the menu of the camera. So you can actually make all your changes hardwired into the camera. What else can we do that I can show you guys real quick? Let's see here. Let's see if I can get out of it. Something else that we enabled just recently is the SRT feature. SRT, I mean, I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard of like the NDI from Newtek with so it's all IP network over the air or over your network. So this we disabled or enabled SRT feature, and we actually did this because of high vision. High vision is actually really is used bigger on the broadcast side and in the NFL. So we went SRT route to, I mean, again, to try to maybe get more of the NFL, try to get more of the sports market side of it. So that was the reason we went with the SRT. And the SRT setup is unbelievably easy. All you do is type in the IP address of the camera and the host, and you send it over to your switcher, and it comes in live. Let's see here. I think I can stop sharing this for a second because I want to go into. So here, something else that we just enabled on the 500 and the 500 SPC or the 500 series is that we enabled, let's see if I can do this. We enabled one touch to Facebook and to YouTube. By doing this, you can actually log into your camera as it's like an iPhone or a smartphone, like when you're using Facebook. You can just set it up as one of your user button as the online button, and it'll instantly go to either your timeline or your team timeline or you know, whatever. I guess like some of the guys are doing, what some of the guys are doing now is that some of the parents are trying to get to some of the coaching practices, and by them not being able to, they made private groups either on YouTube and or on Facebook, where they can actually, now the parents can actually either, I shouldn't say practice, but more like the games and stuff like that, like in lacrosse and everything like that. But they're actually being able to watch the games, you know, for free instead of having to pay for it. And again, they're doing that through Facebook or through YouTube. Something else that is awesome about the camera is our, let's see if I can show it. So if I go here, is the overlay. So a lot of guys have been talking about the scoreboard information being able to get actually on the cameras itself. So I enabled it. This is, I understand it's blurry. It's blurry because of it's an iMeg preview monitor. So it's a very low bit rate, so it doesn't use very much bandwidth. But if you notice, this is football here. So with ScoreHub or Outfitters, you can actually connect the camera via the network and have all of your scoreboard information triggered directly in here. And what we are enabling is the on and off display feature of the actual graphics. Because a lot of guys were saying, well, we don't want it on the whole time during the video. So what we did is, instead, like right as the play is done, you can set up a user button, turn on the scoreboard information for a second, and then whenever they go to the line, they hit the scoreboard information, and then it goes away. That way, it's, you know, some of the guys are doing it that way. The XFL, when they were actually going, they actually use these cameras to the fullest. They were using everything, the ODK, they were using the auto FTP, they were using the scoreboard graphics, and the clip continuous mode. So with that being said, they were totally utilizing the cameras. One more thing, and we'll make this brief. So a lot of the guys, when we brought out the 650s and the 660 cameras, they didn't really like the workflow of the clip continuous. They didn't like, some of the guys didn't like having to hold down the record button or hitting the cancel button because they were more worried about the students missing their plays. So with some conversations with XOs, we did develop the JVC MP4 dropdown. And what that does now is pretty much identical to your AVC HD workflow. It doesn't give you any of the advantages. It does give you ODK, but it does not give you the sideline or the end zone and stuff like that. It's strictly pretty much the AVC HD workflow. And that way, by you guys doing that, you guys can do your backups and everything like that. And a lot of the guys felt more comfortable in doing it that way. So if you have the latest and greatest, I think they brought it out in 2020 to be started this season. But what you'll notice that there is a JVC dropdown. Before it was only MOV. Now it's JVC MP4. If you still want to do the clip continuous record mode, you still have to bring it under raw media. They felt that there was no advantages of putting the dropdown under that. I know that was kind of quick and down and dirty, but were there any questions that you wanted me to go over?
I think we can open this up if you want to, Dan. So just so you know, we've got a few guests here, but the ones that you know in particular, Bill Guerin, Errol Seaver, Matt Dimmitt, Todd Campbell. Those guys are watching right now, and we're going to maybe tell you up front. So you guys are muted, and then at the end, if that's what this time is now, Dan, we can open it up for questions and answers. Sam,
since Matt's on the call, so Matt, if you did download the latest and greatest Thunder, and you can actually use your the 660s if you wanted to, if you still have them, in normal mode. So it would be AVC HD workflow, which is what you were more accustomed
to. As hosts, we're panelists, and as guests, you're the attendees. So if you want to go in, and you'll see, I think, an icon that's a hand. If you want to raise your hand, then you'll be unmuted, and you can ask Dan, and you guys can have an open Q&A session. If anybody has any questions. Dan, Matt said, yeah, it worked great.
No, that's good.
There you go. Errol made red fingers.
Yes, he did.
All right, so can you hear me? Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. So I don't have really any questions. Dan always answers those for me, but so I hit him up for those. We've been on these for about a year now, and I mean, we love them. If anybody else is interested, I mean, you want to talk to one of us about it, like a peer directly, I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has. And like Dan was saying, we've actually utilized these to stream our banquet this year. We never anticipated having to use them for anything other than coaches film, but it did serve us greatly for our banquet because our players' parents couldn't be here. So we were able to stream that to about 150 people during our banquet. And it was a straight running off Wi-Fi, running off our university Wi-Fi, and everything worked great. So just kudos, Dan. Appreciate you guys taking our feedback to make this thing possible.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like Bill Guerin might have a question, Sam. If you want to unmute Bill.
Can you hear me?
Hi, buddy.
Hi. Thanks for putting this all together. This is awesome. What did you say you were using when you were talking about the score clock, score bug, all that stuff? What were you using to integrate that in with the camera?
So you can use Sportscast.
Okay.
And we're I brought it up, but we're also in talks with working it with, I think they're called graphic outfitters.
Okay.
So that we recently just started that portion of it. So that's going to take a little bit to start.
And to find, do you have some literature somewhere that we can get a hold of to take a more look at that?
Sure. Yeah. I sent some stuff to Betsy. Betsy has some of that.
Yeah.
The 500 SPC brochures. And the Score Hub stuff information is in that. And I can send Betsy the link for it as well. So if it's
We've
just
sold a
easier,
few. Yeah, we've sold a few of them, Bill. So we definitely can get you some information.
And the camera that you showed us, what's the base price point on those?
they range. There's three versions. There's a 500U, the 500 SPC, which is the sports version, and then the 550. They range anywhere from like 3,500 to, I think it's 5,500 is the top price.
So Bill, I'm looking at my brand new MediaRight catalog at the JVC page 20. And it's listed at like $39.95. That's for the one with the sports overlay, which is what most of you guys get. So no, it's going to be less than that.
Yeah.
Because that's
Are all of those the 40 biopticals?
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Yeah, in HD, just to be clear. The camera's built on 4K imager. So that's why they put the 20 by on the outside. But when you guys are shooting the HD, it is 40 by.
Great, thank you.
Problem.
cool.
And again, if any of you guys don't have one, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to Betsy, and I'll set her up some demo cameras and make that.
Yeah, I think I have one. I think I have one on its way right now, don't I?
You do.
Dan?
Yeah, you 100% do. You have one of my full kits coming.
Yeah. And by the way, just as an aside, the MediaRighTV program is being shot today on a camera that you provided us. So we're getting high quality out of your GY-HC500, and we thank you for that.
No problem. Let's see here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sweet.
Have any other questions from anybody?
I'm not currently seeing any hands raised, nor am I seeing anything else in the chat going on right now. Yeah, if anybody else has any questions, last call for questions with, oh, yeah, here we go. Mr. Todd Campbell would like to say something.
Yay.
Ask to unmute. There we go.
Just out of curiosity, so I've got one of the older JVCs at the 520 or something like that, and when I combine it with my Panasonic video, I've always got to transcode it coming out. If I'm shooting all JVC cameras, when it's coming out of Exos, do I have any transcode issues?
You do not.
Okay.
If you have, I'm guessing you have a 620 camera.
I think so.
If you have a 620 camera, just stay in the 6 series or the 250 series, and there are 0 issues.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
The 500 is so new. I hate to say yes or no, it's going to or not going to. We have not seen any issues, but I'm not saying that, you know how it is, I'm sure.
All right.
Maybe Errol could speak to that since he's using so many.
Well, he has all the 500s. He doesn't have a mix and match of old and new.
Yeah.
Matt, were you using all JVCs this year? Or were you just experimenting with them?
I just used it for my all 30 camera.
Oh, okay.
And I actually I shot a little bit of practice with them, and it worked out. I mean, I mixed it with the Panasonic stuff, and it worked fine.
Yeah, as long as you don't do, what is it, a clean master at the end?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it works fine with all of them. So yeah.
What's the issue with the clean master?
Yeah, what's the issue with that?
It's when you combine, so like, and again, I don't want to speak for XOs, but it's when you combine like sideline, end zone, clock. If the cameras are 3 different cameras, they have to transcode because of the, it's not the, it's, well, some of it depends on how old your cameras are. All the newer cameras are all 30 GOP, right? But the audio layers are different. Somehow, some way, they're a little bit different, and it triggers a transcode in XOs when you go to combine them for a clean.
Okay.
But hey, this is fun. It's good seeing everybody.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Like your socks.
They're my lucky pink Floyd socks. I'm glad you noticed
I
that.
was gonna say, are they purple or are they pink?
They're pink and
I was
light
saying-
blue, and they say Pink Floyd on them.
I gotcha.
I wanted to wear my lucky socks for our pilot episode.
There you go.
Hey, Dan. Dan,
Oh, Bill.
What's that, Bill?
hey, so we've had, trying to look at them right now. They're the HM 600Us.
Okay.
We've used,
600s. They do not have exchange mode in them.
right. And we've tried them a couple times with the XOs, and we've had to transcode on everything.
You 100% will, because we did the oldest model that has exchange mode are the 650s.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the 600s were replaced by the 620s, and the 620s have the XOs. Or I'm sorry, XOs, the exchange mode.
Gotcha.
Betsy will do a trade for you.
Oh, yeah, I'll do a trade for you.
I got 5 to trade.
How many do you have?
Dan,
5?
I was actually wondering that, Dan. So can you talk about a trade up?
I'm sure we could work out something. I'd have to go through my bosses to ask them. But we do have some royalty programs, and they were mostly in the shoulder mount cameras. But I could also ask. I could see if we can do something like that in the sports world.
Cool. Okay, Bill, I'll be back in touch about that.
All right, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you said you have 5 of them.
Correct. Yeah, 5.
Got it. Okay. I will ask, and I'll put something together for Betsy.
Nice. We're here
Well, I
to
think
help.
that's something that does stink, to be honest, about, and I'm guessing it's every camera manufacturer. What used to be nice is that the 250 and the 200 series, all the way up to the 660 series, all use the same battery, right? And then we came out with the new 500 series, and we couldn't use the same battery. And that's what stinks, because it takes more power to power it up. So that is something that is unfortunate with the batteries. So just so you guys know. But yeah, like I said, always here. Let me know if you guys need anything.
Awesome.
Hey, Dan, quick question.
Sure.
Shifting gears a little bit. Are your remote cameras still on back order, or is that kind of caught up?
No, they're all caught up now.
Okay. Yeah, I know we talked and our administration did what administrations do, and we'll probably be next fiscal year. You know how that story goes, but.
No, absolutely. Yeah. But we had they were on back order for so long just because we had a big order come through and they cleaned out the entire inventory. And then once the inventory got cleaned out, it took a while to get it back. But we're back now, so we're good.
Okay.
Awesome. Looks like Errol has maybe a question.
Hey, Dan. So back in my BYU days when you were first coming in and we were looking at this and getting them to work with HMR 10s, in our indoor facility, we are Panasonic PTZs with HMR 10s in there. Any thought or any plan on JVC's part to have an external recorder like that?
We did look at it. Once COVID hit and everything like that kind of hit, it all went to stop. We actually are moving in a different direction in regards to things that are new that are coming out. And I think I could say this, but we're going to come out with a new PTZ camera before the recorder.
Now, would that have built-in like SD slot on the controller that will shoot in the same flavor that we're accustomed to?
Yeah, so it won't be in the controller, it'll be in the camera, and you'll be able to auto FTP to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so once the camera, you can do that now with our PTZ cameras. When you install them, just put in the micro SD card and you kind of just access it like an SD card when it's on the network. And you have to wire, and you have to have it wired up anyways for control. So they're already on the they're already on the network, the PTZ cameras.
Right. Okay.
And they do shoot in exchange in the right format. Anything else?
Do we have any other questions? Todd, did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll lower my hand now.
I just saw your little hand up there. Want to make sure.
I think I left it up there. Hey, everybody, look at me.
Oh, awesome.
I'm the only one here that gets to go out to practice in half an hour, so.
Oh, man. How's the weather up there for practice?
Hey, 7 stories up on top of the press box. It's cold as heck no matter what the sun looks like.
That's true. That's true.
You guys still have snow or no?
Well, not down on the ground too much. It's pretty much gone. Up in the mountains, we got
Awesome. Sid and Sam, do you guys have audio?
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah, just a funky little situation with the mics,
Yeah.
but something we'll have to monitor. We're all good though.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well,
Awesome. Sam, check out the frequency on the wireless.
Okay.
Because sometimes if your fluorescent lights or your lights are in, or if you guys have any cordless phones or anything like that, or cell phones, they'll interfere with it. You just gotta change your channels.
Okay, cool.
Good to know.
Yep, sweet.
that's why we have this pilot episode with our good friends to find out these kinds of
That's
things.
what these are for.
This has been a terrific learning experience. Undoubtedly. Lots of
Well,
positives,
Yeah, that's awesome.
a couple of negatives.
Okay, well, Dan, thank you
All right.
again so much for your time.
Yeah,
Hey,
Dan,
no
this is
problem.
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Sounds good. Take care, everybody.
Those
Yep.
$25 coupons will be in the mail, so be on the lookout for them.
Yep. They're on their way. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks for joining, guys. We appreciate you.
See ya.
Thank you.